What's going on, everybody? So I'm making this video today because I had a subscriber reach out and ask me to draw the connection of homeowner association and insurance and the crazy shit show that's going on. And before I even start in this process right now, breaking this down, because the research and the information I found out is crazy and you got to know this. Number one, I am a realtor. I'm a real estate broker, and I'm sure if any realtors watching this, they're going to be like, why are you even talking about this? Don't let the end consumer know. But I feel that knowledge is power. The more that you're aware of what's happening, the more information you receive, at the end of the day, you're gonna make a better investment decision. And still, don't take what I'm saying in this video as if, oh, South Florida is not the place to move to. Florida's not great, it sucks, it's too expensive. That's not the case. South Florida is beautiful. There's so many opportunities here, a lot of business. Florida as a whole has so many beautiful things about it. So this is just, unfortunately, one blemish of many hundreds of beautiful things. And in every city, there's always going to be a blemish. But I feel I wouldn't be doing my service if I don't talk about this. And shout out again to the subscriber that dropped in the comments down below. So let's dive into it. South Florida right now has a huge insurance crisis. And right now, it's based on two things: hurricanes and what recently happened in Surfside with the building collapse. If you don't know about that, Google it. Basically, it was a building in Surfside that collapsed, and there's a multitude of reasons why that could have been prevented, and that's why this bill came into place, which I made a video about it. I'm gonna put it right over here. Highly recommend that you watch it. Basically, in South Florida, there is one primary insurance company right now, and that is Citizens, which is state-backed. Now, that is not the end-all be-all. It was never intended to cover all these policyholders in Florida. That wasn't the intent. The intent was to basically facilitate and support the underlying insurance market to provide affordability for those that cannot be covered. Well, right now, the primary market all stepped out. All these privately owned insurance companies have all stepped out, left South Florida and said, hey, it's too expensive. You know, with all the coverage that is being required by us, by the amount of money that we've been paying out to all these claimants, it's just not profitable for us anymore. So they're backing out, they're getting out of the market. Hence why the bill came out, because you need to create some form of regulation around it. It's ridiculous to see that these associations are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, improperly, not maintaining the property correctly, deferring maintenance, actually kicking that can down the road for decades until it becomes a real issue. And unfortunately, the ones who are going to suffer the most from this are going to be people with fixed incomes who've owned their property for a very long time or that are retired. They're going to face the biggest struggle in this, because if your insurance policy shoots up 70%, 100, 200, 300%, what are you going to do at that point when you're at that fixed income? You got three choices. Either pull out a second mortgage, which I don't advise, sell the property while you still can, and then third, pull or get another job. Unfortunately, that is what is going to happen, and there's a pressure cooker going on within the associations and for these condominium owners. And the bill is good. Granted, it's going to basically pull the Band-Aid off for all these homeowners that have been neglecting primary maintenance that needs to be done, and ensuring that there's proper reserves. And if you don't know what a reserve is, basically it is all the HOA dues that are collected, the excess money sits in an escrow account, and that excess money is used to cover any random maintenance issue that comes up, whether a roof needs to be replaced, where the floors need to be done, plumbing, all that good stuff. The issue is that the majority of these associations don't even have reserves. So then they're doing special assessments all the time. And now adding that this bill is a requirement by 2025, either your association better be running right now to handle all these maintenance issues and take care of this, or when that tsunami comes, and it's coming, it is going to be a crushing blow for all these condominium owners that live here in South Florida, which I hope it's not the case. I hope something happens in between then to relieve pressure on that burden of cost that's going to come down the road. Now, few interesting studies that I found. basically in 2022, 90% of claims that were filed in Florida. So there you go. The other one, over the past decade, $51 billion of insurance money has been dished out. Now, the $51 billion, only 8% went to claimants and 71% went to pay attorney fees. I think I'm in the wrong business. Very rough. Now, when these insurance companies do come back, because I believe that at some point they're gonna come back, hopefully, by then, we're gonna see a different real estate market, a different condominium market. The ones who live in these older buildings hopefully have done the maintenance that is required. But if they don't do it, what happens? That condominium is gonna go into foreclosure, go into bankruptcy. So the people that live in there, unfortunately, are gonna be forced to sell their condos for dimes on the dollar. And a lot of these condominiums in South Florida that are older and in premium locations like South Beach, Sunny Isles, Surfside, guess what? You got developers waiting to come in there and buy them up and turn them into luxury 50, 100-story buildings, premium luxury. That is what is going to come up, and that's what's on the horizon. Now, if you are living in a condominium, well, first things first, be vocal, talk to the board, talk to the people that are running the association, find out how much reserves are in there. And if they don't have reserves, you need to start figuring all this out, start making the moves. And especially the older buildings. The newer buildings, they're going to be fine. They're going to see definitely an insurance increase. That's going to happen regardless. The brand new construction, newer buildings. But the older ones, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they're going to see a huge price increase when it comes to insurance premiums. So my recommendation, be vocal, talk to the association, be active, start doing your research, start running your numbers. If you're unable to pay, or you're struggling right now to pay for your condominium, do not go into another mortgage. And if you can do it and you can afford to do it and you really love your building, then please make sure that you have the income and the financial means to cover that, make that payment. You do not want to make the mistake of putting a second mortgage because you love your property, you've been there for 30, 40 years to save it. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're gonna regret it and you'll lose a lot of money in that process. So that's just a recommendation. That is not financial advice. That's just a resident here, which I am, that's just sharing his opinion. And do your research. Remember, at the end of the day, it's about doing your research, running your numbers, find out how badly your building is going to be affected. And the only advice I can give you is just preventive actions prevent disastrous results. So if you enjoyed this video, found value in it, please drop a like, comment, share down below, and give me some suggestions of other topics you want me to research. I want to give another shout out to a subscriber who dropped that comment down below. Thank you. This was a very, very interesting topic, and I hope you guys found some value from this. Thank you. See you on the next one.